What's going on, guys? Getting to this a little later in the day, so we actually have games starting here in about 3 hours. But we'll talk about what happened last night, see if we got anything that changed on the old standings board. We were out of town at the Testament concert, had a really good time. They played with Overkill and Destruction. Destruction, the German thrash legends. Overkill, I've seen. This was my fifth time seeing Overkill, fourth time seeing Testament, and first time seeing Destruction. It's a pretty good show. The Testament set list was a lot of new stuff, a lot of like B-sides on albums I didn't really care for, so a little disappointed in them, but Overkill killed as always. But we were able to watch the Sabres game at the bar while we pre-gamed, so that was cool. Sabres got a comeback win over the Rangers, so got a three-way tie here. As you guys know, if you've watched my previous videos or you're aware of the standings, each of these teams have 102 points. Each of these teams have played 78 games or had played 78 games up to yesterday. So everyone needs to win. Points are vital. And the Sabres were able to beat the last place Rangers down here, 5-3. The Capitals, hanging on by a thread, are playing must-win games right now. This is a tight race, but there's just too many teams for effectively one or two wildcard spots. Boston has a pretty decent lead up here in the first wildcard spot for the East, but Capitals are able to get a 4-0 win over another low-ranking Eastern Conference team in the Toronto Maple Leafs. So Capitals got the 4-0 shutout in Toronto. And the last game, the only three games, we got the Oilers, who are in a tie with the Vegas Golden Knights for the division lead. They took on the San Jose Sharks, who are fighting to get into the Western wildcard, but the Sharks ultimately fell to the Edmonton Oilers. Connor McDavid had a hat trick, and they were able to secure a 5-2 victory. All the away teams won yesterday, but we'll go ahead and get into the standings. Don't know if there's too much movement, but we will discuss that. So anybody who hasn't watched this before, I'll just break it down. It's pretty simple, but we're looking at wild card standings here since we're close to the end of the year. It's going to reflect the teams that are going to make the playoffs, the teams that are fighting to make the playoffs, and the teams that are living in the basement. So how the NHL works is the top three teams in all four divisions automatically qualify for the playoffs. It's what we have here on this hemisphere of the board here. Is the four divisions, top three. These are the teams that are in. So we got the Pacific Division here in the Western Conference. We have the Central Division here in the Western Conference. We have the Metropolitan Division here in the Eastern Conference. We have the Atlantic Division here in the Eastern Conference. What this part of the board reflects is all the wildcard teams. The top two wildcard teams will join the top three division folks in creating an 8-team elimination tournament, one for the West, one for the East, with the winners of those meeting in the Stanley Cup Finals. But we have the Western wildcard teams that are in here with a space with the teams below them trying to secure the spot. So the Mammoth and the Predators. And in the East, we have the Bruins and the Senators. And these are the teams in order, bottom being the worst, top being obviously the closest, in points to trying to get the spot from the teams that currently hold the wildcard spots. So, yeah, that's how standings work. But that's how this board is reflected. Next year when I do this, I might make little labels or something by a label maker. Make it a little less confusing on what you're looking at. But without further ado, we'll just start off with the West like we usually do. Not a whole lot has changed in the Central Division since I started doing this. Colorado has been one of the best teams in the NHL, the best team in the NHL. While streaky, still looking like they're probably going to secure the President's Trophy any moment now. They did secure the number one seed in the West, so. Dallas is at 104, Minnesota's at 102. In the Pacific Division, we have the Edmonton Oilers have 90 with that win over the Sharks. Vegas has 88, and Anaheim, one of the coldest teams in all of hockey, they've lost 6 in a row, has 87. They're falling. In the wild card for the West, we have the Utah Mammoth with 88, Nashville Predators with 84. LA Kings, 83, San Jose Sharks, 81, Winnipeg Jets, 80, St. Louis Blues, 78, Seattle Kraken, 75, and the Calgary Flames, 73, Chicago Blackhawks 70, and the Vancouver Canucks 52. The Flames and Below have all been mathematically eliminated. The Seattle Kraken have also lost 6 in a row. They have fallen from kind of team fighting and clawing for that spot to a team they're the next ones on the chopping block. They won't make the playoffs. In the East, we do have a little bit of movement here. We'll start off with the Atlantic. Guys, I'm a Sabres fan. For those who don't know, I live in Arizona. I was a diehard Coyotes fan. Shane Doan is a living legend, played with the Coyotes for many, many years. Well, his son, Josh Doan, drafted by the Coyotes. The franchise moved to Utah, and then he was traded last offseason for Peterka, and he plays for the Buffalo Sabres. In addition, Tage Thompson was also born in Arizona, so I get to be a homer in a little roundabout way, and they've had a really fun season. Going from effectively last perennial losers to now first place in their division once again. They got that come from behind win on the Rangers and were able to pull ahead slightly. Interesting thing about this division, if I can fix this, interesting thing about this division is the Tampa Bay Lightning and Montreal Canadiens play each other this evening, so somebody's going to get 2 full points. We're going to be tied again. Hopefully it doesn't go to overtime, so everyone gets points, but we'll see. In the Metropolitan Division, let's see what we got here. Don't think anything really happened. Yeah, we got Carolina. Excuse me. We'll start with the points here. 104, 102, 102. Played 79 games. Each have played 78. They'll play their 79th game this afternoon, I believe 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time or Arizona time for their 79th game. In the Metropolitan Division, we have Carolina has the best record in the East with 106 points, Pittsburgh 92, and Philadelphia Flyers, one of the hottest teams in the entire National Hockey League, have 92 points. Yes, they're 7-3 in their last 10 and have currently won 3 in a row. In the East wildcard, we have the Boston Bruins. They've lost 4 in a row, but they still have a 4-point cushion over the Ottawa Senators. So 96 points, 92 points. This is where things get really interesting in the East. Columbus Blue Jackets, 2 points out. Detroit, New York, and Washington. Yes. Detroit, New York, and Washington, all with 89 points, have all played 78 games. So we have a 3-way tie here for 3 points out. And then Columbus has played also 78 games, 2 points out. And excuse me, I was wrong. The Red Wings, Columbus, and the Islanders have all played 78 games, meaning they have 4 games remaining. Washington has played 79. They won yesterday. So they played their 79th game yesterday and was able to match Detroit and New York for 89 points. We have 4 teams, really 5 teams, within 3 points of each other for the final Eastern wildcard spot. So it's interesting. The West is also tight, not nearly as bad, I don't think. You got Nashville leading by a point, LA a point behind with a game in hand, San Jose 3 points behind, Winnipeg 4 points behind, St. Louis 6 points behind, Seattle donezo basically. So yeah, we got some tight races. We can go over some of the games today, though. I think there are some pretty pivotal matchups. Got the Leafs and the Islanders, so the Islanders cannot afford to drop points, especially to a team much lower in the standings. Toronto's got a good team. I mean, they're not a good team, but they have good players. I mean, the talent is there. It just hasn't come together for them. So, Islanders need to pull that one off. Blue Jackets and Sabres, pretty big game for both teams. Sabres will be playing in their 80th game, while Tampa and Montreal play each other. We will be taking care of a team in Columbus who has dropped, I want to say 6 out of their last 7. They've fallen pretty drastically in the standings, but they are desperate for a win. This should definitely have a playoff hockey vibes, I would say, and could honestly potentially be a first-round matchup also. So good little preview. Lightning and Canadiens, as I mentioned a few times before, that should be a really good game, and that's also looking like it could be a potential first-round matchup. Panthers and Senators, we get the Kachuk Bowl again. So we get Brady with the Senators playing against his brother Matthew. That game will be in Ottawa. Panthers are pretty much out, but Senators are fighting to hold on to that last wild card spot. Huge game here, huge game. The Flyers currently 3 points above the Detroit Red Wings in the Eastern Conference standings. Flyers trying to hold on to that third place spot in the Metropolitan Division. Detroit doing Detroit things by losing a bunch of games at the end of the year, kind of sabotaging their entire season. But, man, one of these teams is going to have to win, man. The Red Wings need to win this game, but we'll see. Penguins, Devils, nothing really to see here. The Devils are mathematically eliminated, even though they have 83 points. I mean, they still had a respectable year. They're above 500, but the East has just been so much better than the West. So the Devils are out. The Penguins have 96 points. They're going to be playing in New Jersey. So Jets and Blues, another important game here. 2 points separating these two teams in the Western Wild Card. They've played recently, and I called that an elimination game. This for sure has to be some kind of elimination game, especially if there's a regulation win and only one team's getting the 2 points. I mean, St. Louis cannot afford to lose another game. Winnipeg cannot afford to lose another game. It's like it's do or die for both those teams. Hurricanes and Blackhawks, we're talking about one of the best teams in the NHL and one of the worst teams in the NHL. So nothing really to see there. Wild and Stars. That is a game right there. That is a potential first-round matchup if I've ever seen one. Stars with 104 points, Wild with 102 points. The game will be in Dallas. Another barn burner here. Flames traveling to Denver to play the Avalanche, the best team in hockey versus like the 5th or 6th worst team in hockey. And then a matchup of our 2 wildcard teams. We have Utah hosting the Predators. That'll be at 6 p.m. If you're interested in watching that one, looks like Utah is slightly favored. Predators need to get a win. They only have a 1-point advantage on the LA Kings currently as things sit. Sharks are playing the Ducks in Anaheim. The Ducks have lost 6 in a row, have watched their division lead wither away, and they're now playing a San Jose team who got kind of beat up and walked all over yesterday. See if they can get a win. San Jose on the opposite end of that. They're not that far out. Dude, it's do or die for them too. Anybody in this area it's put up or shut up time. Golden Knights playing the Kraken in Seattle. Who cares? Hate both those teams. I don't give a damn. I hope Seattle wins and can somehow help spoil the Golden Knights season. And then the lowly Canucks travel to LA and play the LA Kings. So those are the games that we got tonight. We'll be looking forward to making this video tomorrow. Doesn't look like there's any games on Friday. So we'll have a day off, but we'll discuss all these games tomorrow morning, bright and early, after I have my caffeine and rate a monster for you guys. But that's it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed, and make sure you guys leave a comment, like, subscribe, anything. Man, I really want a little bit more engagement on the channel. I'm also dropping some more videos on a little bit of military stuff, so if any of you guys want to tune in for anything or have any ideas for videos or just want to shoot the shit, please leave a comment and we can make that happen. But yeah, you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow morning bright and early to discuss all these wonderful games. Remember, watch hockey. It's good for you.